From all of us at EF Bintaro Sector 9, we'd like to wish you a happy Lebaran and a happy Ascension Day. And also, a happy watching this EFB9 highlights. Welcome to episode 14 of EFB9 Highlights, where we tell you what's been happening at EF Bintaro Sector 9 for the past week. Let's start off with some live clubs. Coding School Coding Next led a live club for our students following their EF Talks talk show with us on Saturday. They chose Roblox as an introductory point to building that programming mindset. They started out by building Robby type games, which is a type of game that kids actually really enjoy making and playing as well. It's also something similar to what we did a few months ago. The students were led through the fundamentals of Roblox programming, but doing it in a sequence regularly used by programmers. It was a shame the class was limited to only 14 students. There were a ton of requests to join from our students on Discord, but the classes were already full. In response, we held a second session the next day, but apparently it was not a good time for a lot of the students. But to those students who did join us, well, you might be the next Indonesian Steve Jobs, or should I say Steve Kerja? Next up, it was watching anime together, continuing on with Demon Slayer. While waiting for Mr. Very, the students decided to play some anime songs on Discord. But kids being kids, someone decided to rickroll us all, which made Mr. Very's arrival such a relief. After a brief recap of the movie, we picked up from last week's session. In the end, a few tears were shed, so much that for the next anime live club, everybody requested a different anime with a happier ending, and they actually requested Detective Conan. Boy, will you guys be surprised. Our Discord server is getting more and more exciting every single week. We do things such as play video games, we share artwork, we share lots of stories on there. If you'd like to join us on Discord, contact your progress advisor today. Now let's have a peek into some of our exciting classroom activities with Classroom Time. Miss Daisy's HFE class celebrated their achievement ceremony by making some virtual pizza, tying it in with a vocabulary exercise. Everybody had to suggest what ingredients they wanted to put on the pizza. Looks simple enough until you get an ingredient that not everybody really likes. Once the anchovies came on, you could look at the serious concern from this student. This student decided to hide from it, and she was definitely trying to keep her distance. But all in all, when it was put into the oven and it came out, it looked, but the cake looks good, right? Now it's time to celebrate the progress of our students with Achievement Ceremonies of the Week. Miss Dina's TB7, Miss Daisy's TB3, Miss Daisy's HFE, Mr. Aru's SS2. Last week during our EF Talks, we invited Coding Next to come speak to you about how coding can actually prepare your child for the future. Mr. Bartek from Coding Next came by to share some interesting information about coding and how it can help prepare your child for a future which is quickly changing and becoming more heavily dependent on technology. We don't know what new innovations or job requirements are going to be out there in the next 10 to 15 years. So learning coding is always a good way to give our children the basics for what's to come next. Mr. Bartek was also kind enough to provide some free classes for our live club, which you saw earlier in this video. Thank you, Mr. Bartek and the Coding Next team for showing us how to future-proof our students. Our EF teachers also joined in on the video transition challenge last week, and the winners are Miss Malta, Mr. Max, and Miss Ika. Thank you so much for contributing to the spirit of fun and creativity we celebrate here at EF Bintaro Sector 9. Enjoy your prizes. Well, that is all for this week's episode of EFB9 Highlights. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and also share it with your friends and family. Anyways, have a very, very wonderful holiday, keep safe, and we'll see you next week.